I started sleeping with the lights on, not bright, just the hallway lamp, a soft yellow glow spilling into my bedroom, enough to remind me where I was, enough to keep the shadows from fully forming. After what happened with the photos, I couldn't handle complete darkness anymore. Every sound felt louder, every movement felt closer. I stopped checking my phone at night. I stopped leaving it near my bed. I even covered the mirrors in my apartment, bathroom, closet, hallway, anything that could reflect. For a while, things felt quiet, normal, almost peaceful. Almost. 3 weeks passed without incidents. No vibrations, no messages, no strange pressure in the room. I began to think maybe it was over. Maybe my mind had just snapped for a moment. Maybe stress and lack of sleep had done something to me. Then, one evening, I noticed something small, something stupid, something I almost ignored. My shoes weren't where I left them. I always kicked them off near the door, always. But that night, they were lined up neatly against the wall, perfectly straight, like someone had taken the time to arrange them. I told myself I must have done it earlier. Habit, autopilot. Later, I found my kitchen chair pushed in. I never push it in. I like leaving it pulled out. Again, I blamed myself. Memory gaps, fatigue, normal human stuff. But the next morning, my bedroom door was closed. I never close it. I like hearing the rest of the apartment when I sleep. It makes me feel less alone. That's when I started keeping track, mentally, every object, every door, every light. And things kept changing. Small things, subtle things. A cabinet left open, a towel folded differently, a cup moved from one side of the sink to the other. Nothing dramatic, nothing obvious, just enough to make me doubt myself. I stopped inviting people over. I didn't want anyone touching my stuff. I didn't want anyone disturbing the patterns, because something else was already doing that. One night, I woke up with that familiar feeling, that pressure, like the room was holding its breath. I stayed still. My eyes were closed, but I knew I wasn't alone. I could feel it standing near the doorway, not moving, just observing. I tried to slow my breathing, tried to pretend I was asleep. Then I heard it, a soft sound, bare feet against the floor. Step, pause, step. It was moving slowly, carefully, like it didn't want to wake me. The footsteps stopped beside my bed. I could feel the cold in the air shift. Something leaned closer. I felt breath on my cheek, not warm, not cold, just wrong. I wanted to scream. My body wouldn't let me. I wanted to open my eyes. I couldn't. After a few seconds, maybe minutes, it stepped away. The pressure lifted. The room felt empty again. I didn't sleep after that. In the morning, I checked my apartment. Every room, every corner, nothing, no signs of entry, no open windows, no unlocked doors. But my phone was back on my nightstand. I know I left it charging in the kitchen. My gallery had 3 new photos, time-stamped 3:17 a.m. They were all of me, lying in bed, from different angles. In the last one, my eyes were open, staring directly at the camera, but I don't remember waking up. I took the day off work, packed a bag, and went to stay at a hotel across town. Different building, different neighborhood, different everything. I thought distance would help. I thought changing locations would break whatever pattern I was trapped in. The first night, there was quiet. No footsteps, no pressure, no photos. I slept for almost 10 hours. On the second night, I woke up to the sound of someone showering. For a moment, I forgot where I was. Then I remembered hotel, alone. The bathroom light was on. Steam was seeping out from under the door. My heart started pounding. I hadn't used the shower. I grabbed my phone and slowly pushed the bathroom door open. The room was empty. The shower was running, hot water hitting tile, fog covering the mirror. I turned it off, stood there shaking, trying to make sense of it. That's when my phone vibrated. 3:17 a.m. A message from my own number. It said, "You don't need to move." My hands went numb. I couldn't feel my fingers. I stared at the message, waiting for another vibration, waiting for anything. Nothing came. Just the sound of the shower, just my own breathing, just that heavy silence pressing in from all sides. I slowly turned around. The bathroom behind me was empty. No movement, no shadows, only steam rolling down the mirror. I wiped a small circle in the fog with my sleeve, just enough to see my reflection. I looked exhausted, pale, eyes red, hair stuck to my forehead with sweat. I barely recognized myself. For a moment, I felt stupid, embarrassed, like I had scared myself over nothing. Then my reflection blinked, and I didn't. I froze, my throat tightened. My reflection tilted its head, slowly, carefully, the same way it did in the photos. I raised my hand. It raised its hand, too, but a fraction of a second late. That delay, that tiny mistake, that's how I knew. My phone vibrated again, still in my hand, another message, same number, my number. It said, "See, you're getting better at noticing." I backed away from the mirror, step by step. My heel hit the edge of the bathtub. I almost fell. I turned and ran out of the bathroom, out of the room, down the hallway. Didn't care who saw me, didn't care how I looked. I just needed distance. In the elevator, I stared at my reflection in the metal doors. I didn't blink, not once. Neither did it. Outside, the night air felt sharp against my skin. Cold, real. I stood there shaking, trying to convince myself that physical space still mattered, that walls and streets and locked doors meant something. I walked for hours, didn't check my phone, didn't look at windows, didn't stop moving. Eventually, my legs gave out. I sat on a bench in a quiet park and watched the sun come up. That morning, I made a list, things I knew for sure. I was awake. I was alone. I had not invited anything into my life. But even as I wrote those words, I didn't fully believe them. Back in my apartment, I started setting traps. Small ones, simple ones. A cup balanced on a door handle. A chair placed against the bedroom door. A piece of paper folded in a way I'd notice if it moved. I wanted proof. I needed proof. Every morning something was different, never obvious, never dramatic, just slightly wrong. The cup was upright on the counter. The chair was pushed in. The paper was unfolded. Whatever it wasn't sneaking anymore. It was living here. Sometimes I'd catch myself standing in the hallway with no memory of getting there. Sometimes I'd find lights on that I never touched. Sometimes I'd wake up with dirt under my fingernails. And the worst part, it started feeling normal. Last night, I woke up sitting on the edge of my bed, my feet on the floor, my phone in my hand, camera open, recording. I don't remember getting up. I don't remember pressing record. But when I watched the video this morning, I saw myself walk out of frame, leaving the bedroom, moving toward the hallway. The recording continued for 3 minutes. Empty room, silent apartment. Then I came back, climbed into bed, closed my eyes, and just before the video ended, something else entered the frame. It stood where I had been, looking down at me. It leaned toward the camera and whispered. I couldn't hear the words, but I could read its lips. It said, "Soon